"Transfer the house to us, Mom, then we'll take care of you," they said. So I signed. But there was something they didn't know. I had 7 more houses registered in my name. My name is Margaret Henderson. I'm 72 years old, and I'm going to tell you a story I've never told anyone until today. Because sometimes the greatest lessons are taught in silence. And I remained silent for exactly 18 months. Now it's time to speak. I lost my husband Robert 3 years ago, lung cancer. He was 68 years old, and until his last breath he told me, "Maggie, don't give the kids everything right away. Watch them first. See who they really are." That day, I made him a promise. But when I made that promise, I didn't know how painful this journey would be. Robert was an electrician. I was an elementary school teacher. We were both ordinary people. We didn't live a flashy life. We didn't spend money on luxury cars or expensive vacations. But we did one thing very well: investing. In 1978, we bought our first home, a small Victorian-style house in Gresham, Portland, Oregon, for $35,000. Every month we held our breath making the mortgage payment. But Robert had a plan. "Maggie, people will always need a roof over their heads." Real estate never loses its value. As the years passed, we saved every penny. We didn't go on vacation. We didn't buy new clothes. Our children, Michael, Susan, and David, would sometimes ask, "Why isn't our house as big as our friends?" I would say, "Because we're investing in the future." But they never understood. In 1982, we bought a second house in Beaverton. We rented it to tenants, then a third, fourth, fifth, each in a different neighborhood, each a quietly growing fortune. But we didn't tell anyone. Our children thought we only lived in the Gresham house. They didn't know about the other houses because we never talked about it. Robert would say, "If we tell them how much wealth we have, they won't work. Let them learn to earn for themselves." And that's what we did. Michael, my oldest son, always chased money. "Mom, Dad, I'm going to be rich," he'd say. He graduated from college but could never stay at any job for long. He was always looking for the big opportunity. He invested in cryptocurrency, lost it all, bought stocks, went bust. He constantly asked us for loans, and we gave them, because he was our son. Susan, my only daughter, thought everything was a right. She married twice, divorced twice. Each time she said, "Help me out a little, just until I get back on my feet." We helped. But the money was never enough, because her lifestyle always exceeded her expenses. David, my youngest, was still finding himself at 45. He jumped from job to job, couldn't settle anywhere, and whenever he stopped, he had no money in his pocket. We raised 3 children. We tried to give them values, but I think we gave them too much, because none of them had to struggle. When Robert retired, we had 8 houses. We lived in 1, rented out 7. Monthly rental income was over $12,000. We could have had a comfortable retirement, but we didn't tell anyone. Our children thought we were just simple retirees. Then Robert got sick, fall of 2021. When we found out about the cancer, it was too late. The doctors said, maybe a year. During that year, my children came and went. But I noticed that what they were really interested in wasn't their father. Every visit, the same questions. Have you prepared your will? Whose name is the house in? Is there insurance? Robert noticed too. In his hospital bed, he held my hand and said, "Maggie, watch out for them. Test them." Robert died on March 14th, 2022. All 3 cried at the funeral. But the next day, all 3 wanted to come to the lawyer's office for the reading of the will. The will was simple. Everything went to me. The children also got some money, $50,000 each. But the house, singular, went to me. I'll never forget the disappointment on Michael's face. $50,000? That's it? The lawyer explained, yes. All remaining assets belong to Mrs. Henderson. But the house? Susan asked. Mrs. Henderson gets the house too. When they said house, they meant the Gresham house, because they didn't know about any others. From that day on, they called me for months. "Mom, how are you? Aren't you lonely? Do you need help?" Every call had the same goal, access to the house. I would just say, "I'm fine, kids." But inside I knew. As Robert said, the time had come to test them. And now I'm going to tell you this story. Maybe it will change your life too. If you want to hear these kinds of true stories, learn lessons from life, subscribe to this channel. Because sometimes the greatest lessons are lived in silence. Then 18 months ago, in February 2024, something happened. All 3 came together. This was strange because normally they didn't like each other much. We sat in the living room. Michael spoke. "Mom, You're 72 now. Living alone in this house is hard for you. We've been thinking, and we have a proposal. Inside, I thought, here it comes. But I calmly listened on the outside. Transfer this house to us, Michael said. We'll sell it and find you a more suitable place. Maybe a nice nursing home or a small apartment. We'll handle it for you. You can relax. Susan added, managing the house, dealing with the yard is too tiring for you. We're young and strong. Let us manage it for you, and you can stay with us whenever you want. David silently nodded his head. I looked at them. My 3 adult children. Do you know what I saw in their eyes? Not love, not concern, just calculation. If we sell the house, Michael continued, it's worth about $400,000. You'll live very comfortably somewhere with that. We'll manage the remaining money and pay you monthly. I need to think about it, I said. Michael leaned forward. Mom, decide now. Because it's hard to find places in nursing homes. We need to act early. I don't want to go to a nursing home, I said. Then a small apartment, Susan said. In Beaverton or somewhere else. We'll take care of you. At that moment, Robert's voice echoed in my mind. Test them, Maggie. Okay, I said quietly. I accept. All 3 of their faces lit up. Susan jumped forward and hugged me. Oh, Mom. We'll take such good care of you, don't worry. But I knew how empty their we'll take care of you promise was. A week later, we went to Lawyer George's office. The paperwork was ready. I was transferring the Gresham house to my 3 children. Mrs. Henderson, said George, who had been my friend for 30 years. Are you sure? There's no going back. I'm sure, George, I said in a calm voice. I signed. The Gresham house was now theirs. As we left the office, Michael patted me on the shoulder. Don't worry, Mom. We'll find you a nice place. We'll go look at nursing homes this weekend, okay? Okay, I said. But that weekend, they never called. The first week passed. Silence. The second week, Michael called. But not to ask about me. Mom, realtors are coming to see the house. Have you packed your things? My things? I said. Yes, because an empty house sells better. Where are you staying now? I'm staying with a friend in Selwood, Portland, I said. Ah, good. Stay there a little longer. We'll let you know when the house sells. He hung up. He didn't say, how are you? He didn't ask, are you comfortable? He didn't think, do you need money? The third week, Susan sent a message. Mom, I'm so busy. The kids have school stuff. I'll call later. She didn't call. The fourth week, no word from David. The fifth week, my neighbor Doris called. Margaret, there's a big sold sign in front of your Gresham house. Is everything okay? My heart sank. Yes, Doris, everything's fine. They had sold the house. Less than a month. Without asking me, without informing me, without saying a word. I called George. They sold the house. Margaret, they can. It's their property now. I know, I just wanted to know. That night I cried. In my rental house in Selwood, yes, in my other house, I cried alone. Because the house we had saved for 50 years, where our children grew up, where Robert first said, I love you, to me, had been sold in a month. And they hadn't even said, we love you, Mom. The sixth week, a message from Michael. Mom, the house sold for $420,000. Each of us gets $140,000. We'll look for a place for you soon, okay? Okay, I wrote. Soon never came. 2 months passed. They never called. They never visited. They never said, Mom, where are you? Are you okay? 3 months passed. Mother's Day came. May 12th, 2024, marked on the calendar. For 35 years, every Mother's Day my children would come. Flowers, cards, brunch. This year, nothing. Not even one call. That day, I sat alone in my small house. I picked up Robert's photograph. Do you see Robert? I said. You were right. I tested them. And they failed. 4 months passed. They forgot my birthday. It was April 14th. I turned 73, alone. A cake and a candle by myself. 5 months passed. I saw Susan post a photo of a new car on Facebook, a shiny red BMW. Rewarded myself, she had written. I learned that Michael also bought a new boat on the Columbia River. Dreams coming true, his post said. David was silent, but he was liking his siblings' posts. Bought with my money, on my back. 6 months passed. Summer came. On hot days, I sat alone in my garden. Neighbors would sometimes ask, Margaret, Don't your children visit you?" "They're busy," I'd say with a smile. But inside, my heart was bleeding. Now I want to ask you, have you ever felt this way? Forgotten by your loved ones? If you've had a similar experience or know someone who's currently going through it, please write in the comments, because sometimes sharing our pain lightens it, and maybe your story will give someone hope. 7 months passed. September, fall began. The leaves turned yellow, and I was still alone. 8 months passed. None of them called. None of them came. As if I had died, erased from life. But I hadn't died. I was living, silently, watching. 9 months passed. One day I got an email from David. "Mom, times are tough. Can you lend me $10,000? First contact in 9 months, and only for money." "I can't," I wrote. No response came. No thank you, no understanding, not even anger. Just silence. 10 months passed. November. Thanksgiving was approaching. Last year, the first Thanksgiving after Robert's death. All three had come. We cooked turkey, sat together at the table. This year, no invitation. No, "Mom, come to us." So I quietly ate dinner with friends, with my church community, with strangers, but not with my own family. 11 months passed. December. Christmas was approaching. Snow was falling outside. I was decorating my house. A small tree, a few lights, but I had no one. 12 months passed. Christmas came. December 25th, 2024. Morning arrived. The phone didn't ring. The door didn't knock. No gifts came. No cards. A full year had passed. 365 days. And they had completely forgotten me. That night, I looked at Robert's photograph. "Robert," I said, "it's time now. Time to show them the truth." 13 months passed. January 2025, New Year, but nothing had changed for me. 14 months passed. February. Exactly 1 year ago, I had transferred the house to them. For a year, they forgot me, but I didn't forget them, and I never would. 15 months passed. March. Spring was approaching. Flowers were blooming, but my heart was like winter. 16 months passed. April. My birthday again. From 73 to 74. Again alone. Again forgotten. 17 months passed. May. Second Mother's Day. Again silence. 18 months passed. June 2025. For 18 months, none of them called, visited, or cared. I was a 72-year-old woman. I had lost my husband, given away my home, done everything for their good. And them? They threw me in the trash. But there was something they didn't know. I still owned 7 houses. 7 houses with a total value of $3.2 million. And now it was time to speak. I called George. "George, are you ready?" "You waited 18 months, Margaret." "Yes, I'm ready." "Send them a letter. Family meeting in your office, July 1st, 2 p.m., attendance mandatory." "Got it. Subject? Inheritance and truth." George laughed. "This is going to be big." "I know, George. And it should be. Because for 18 months they thought their mother was dead. Now they'll see the resurrection." George's letter reached all 3 the same day, June 25th, 2025. A large official envelope, the law firm's logo on top. Michael was the first to call. The phone rang at 3 p.m. First time in 18 months my phone had rung. "Mom?" His voice was tense, worried. "I got a letter from George Patterson. It says family meeting. What does this mean? Is there a problem?" "We'll talk, Michael," I said in a calm voice. July 1st, 2 p.m. "But Mom," I hung up. 5 minutes later, Susan called. "Mom!" A letter came from the lawyer. "What's going on? Are you sick? Did something happen?" "No, Susan. I'm healthy. We'll talk at the meeting." "Mom, please. You're scaring me." "You shouldn't be scared," I said, "if your conscience is clear." I hung up. David sent a text. "Mom, got the letter. I can come. But I need to ask something. Is this about the will?" I didn't write back. That week, someone called every day. Every day an excuse, a question, a worry. But for 18 months, none of them had said, "Mom, how are you?" "I missed you." Now they were scared. July 1st, 2025. Tuesday. The weather was sunny. I went from my Selwood house to downtown Portland. George's office was on the 12th floor of a large glass building. When I got off the elevator, I saw all three in the waiting room. First time in 18 months. All three together, but sitting far apart from each other. Michael was wearing a suit, like going to a job interview. His face was tense. Susan had put on makeup, but the circles under her eyes were visible. She clearly hadn't been sleeping. David was the quietest. Head down, hands trembling. When they saw me, all three stood up. "Mom!" Susan ran to me, tried to hug me. I pulled back. "Let's go inside," I said coldly. We entered the conference room, a large wood-paneled room, a long table in the middle. George sat at the head. "Please sit," George said. The three on one side, George and I on the other, like a courtroom. Michael tried to speak. "Mom, please tell us. What's happening? Are you sick? Do you need money? Michael, please be quiet," George said in a sharp voice. "Mrs. Henderson will speak. You will just listen." Silence. I put my hands on the table, took a deep breath, and started speaking. 18 months ago, I said, my voice calm but determined. "You asked me for something. The Gresham house. Mom, you're getting old. You can't manage alone. Give us the house, we'll take care of you," you said. All three nodded. "And I gave it," I continued. "I trusted you. I believed your word. We'll take care of you," you said. "We won't leave you alone," you said. Susan's eyes filled with tears. "Mom, Susan!" George's voice filled the room. "Your mother is speaking. Be quiet and listen." Susan closed her mouth. "When I gave you the house," I said, "what did you do? You sold it within the first month for $420,000. Without asking me, without informing me. You just sold it and split the money." Michael interrupted. "Mom, but you agreed." "You said, 'Sell it!'" ! "No, Michael," I said firmly. "I didn't say sell it. I said, find me a suitable place. You sold it and pocketed the money." But we were going to find you a place," Susan said. "Really?" I said. I looked into their eyes. 18 months have passed. What place did you find? What nursing home did you take me to? What apartment did you arrange? Silence. "None," I said, "because all you wanted was the money. Not my welfare." David raised his head. Real pain was on his face. "Mom, you're right. We're terrible children. I'm sorry." "Sorry?" I said. My voice began to tremble. 18 months, David. For 18 months, you didn't call me. You didn't visit me. You forgot my birthday. You forgot Mother's Day. You left me alone on Thanksgiving. I was alone at Christmas. Susan was now sobbing. "Mom, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." "Michael," I said, turning to him, "you bought a new boat. $80,000. With my money." "Mom, Susan," I said, "you bought a new BMW, $65,000, with my money." "Mom, please." "David," I said, "what did you do with the money? Tell me, what did you spend it on?" David was quietly crying. "I paid my debts and lost it gambling. Mom, I was an idiot. A real idiot." I stood up, walked to the window, looked at the Portland skyline, the Willamette River, Mount Hood in the distance. "I'm 72 years old," I said, my back to them. "I lost my husband. I gave away my home. And you threw me in the trash, as if I were a disposable item, worthless, unnecessary." "No, Mom," Michael jumped up. "You're valuable." We were stupid, selfish, but we love you." I turned and looked into his eyes. "Love is shown through actions, Michael, not words, and your actions showed me very well how much you love me." I returned to the table and sat down. "Now," I said, "I'm going to show you something." George placed a folder in front of him, a thick blue folder. "What is this?" Michael asked. "The truth," I said. George opened the folder. He pulled out documents, started laying them out on the table one by one. First document, Selwood, Portland. 3-bedroom house. Title holder, Margaret Henderson. Value, $485,000. Michael's mouth fell open. Second document. Beaverton, Portland. 4-bedroom house. Title holder, Margaret Henderson. Value, $520,000. Susan's hands started trembling. Third document. Lake Oswego, Portland. Luxury 5-bedroom house. Title holder, Margaret Henderson. Value, $750,000. David sat frozen. Fourth document. Bend, Oregon, vacation home. Title holder, Margaret Henderson. Value, $380,000. Fifth document. Tigard, Portland, 2-story house. Title holder, Margaret Henderson. Value, $410,000. Sixth document. Happy Valley, Portland, new villa. Title holder, Margaret Henderson. Value, $625,000. Seventh document. Oregon City farmhouse. Title holder, Margaret Henderson. Value, $340,000. George put down the last document and read the total. 7 properties. Total market value, $3,510,000. Silence. Heavy, suffocating silence. Michael's face had turned white as chalk. What? What? Susan had collapsed into her chair. $3.5 million? David covered his face with his hands. My God. My God. Yes, I said in a calm voice. $3.5 million. Your father and I accumulated this wealth over 45 years. Slowly, quietly, without telling anyone. But we... Michael stuttered. We didn't know. Yes, you didn't know, I said, because you never asked. You only thought, how much will we get? Not, how is our mother? Susan stood up. Mom, please! We were ignorant, stupid, but we understand now. Please forgive us. I forgive you, I said, because you are my children. All 3 relaxed. Hope appeared on their faces. But, I said, forgiving doesn't mean I'm giving you these houses. The hope faded. George continued. Mrs. Henderson's instructions are as follows. The Selwood house will be donated to a shelter foundation for elderly women. The Beaverton house will go to a charity for homeless families. The Lake Oswego house will be donated to Cancer Research Foundation in memory of Robert Henderson. The Bend Vacation Home will become a rest center for elderly retirees. The Tigard house will be given to a foundation for disabled children. The Happy Valley Villa will be donated to a children's education scholarship program. The Oregon City farmhouse will become an animal shelter. Michael jumped up. No! Mom, no, this isn't fair. These are family inheritance. Our right. Your right? I shouted. For the first time in 18 months, I raised my voice. What right, Michael? Your right to abandon me for 18 months? Your right not to call on Mother's Day? Your right to forget my birthday? But Mom, we're family, Susan cried. Family, I said, my voice trembling, isn't just about blood, Susan. Family is about love, care, presence. For 18 months you showed no love, no care, and you weren't present for me. David dropped to the floor, literally got down on his knees. Mom, please, give us a chance, please. We'll change, I promise. I'll be a real son. Please. I looked at him. A 45-year-old man kneeling before his mother, crying. My heart tightened, because he was my son. No matter how much he made mistakes, he was my child. David, I said softly, get up. Don't kneel. He stood up. His eyes were completely red. I want to show you one more thing, I said. George pulled out an 8th document. Gresham, Portland, Victorian-style house, our first home, the house where your father first told me I love you, the house where you were born, the house where you took your first steps. All 3 looked at me. That house, I said, was sold 18 months ago for $420,000. Remember? They nodded. But there's something you don't know, I said. I bought that house back. What? Michael looked shocked. Yes, I said. I made a deal with the realtor. I secretly bought that house back for $430,000. I paid $10,000 more, but that house had to be mine because that place is our house of memories. George placed a new title deed on the table. Gresham House, title holder, Margaret Henderson. Susan was sobbing. Michael stood frozen. David had buried his head in his hands. And now, I said, I'm giving that house to you. All 3 raised their heads. Shock, confusion, hope. "I'm giving it to you," I said, "but with one condition. You will never sell that house. We will gather in that house every Thanksgiving, me, you, and my grandchildren. We'll eat together there, we'll remember memories together, and maybe we'll learn to be a family again." Susan jumped up and hugged me. This time I didn't pull back. I embraced her. She cried on my shoulder. A 45-year-old woman, crying like a child in her mother's arms. "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry," she kept repeating. Michael also came over, hugged me. "Mom, I was a terrible son. But I swear I'll change. I'll call every day. I'll visit every week. I promise." David crawled on his knees, clung to my feet. "Mom, please forgive me. I was the worst. I did nothing. But I will now. I'll fix my life. For you. For Dad." I put my hand on his head. "Get up, David. All of you, get up." They stood. "Now listen to me," I said. "This is your last chance. If you go back to the old ways, if you forget me again, this time, there will truly be nothing left. The Gresham house will go too, understand?" "Yes," Michael said. "Yes, Mom," Susan said. "Yes," David whispered. "Good," I said. "Now we're leaving the office. And we're going to the Gresham house. Together. There's something I've prepared for you there." We got in our cars, me in front, George beside me, 3 cars behind, my 3 children. 30 minutes later, we arrived in Gresham, our old neighborhood, our old house, the house we bought 45 years ago for $35,000. We went inside. The house was empty, but on the walls were photographs, Robert and me, young, happy, hopeful. Michael as a baby, Susan's first steps, David's birthday, family photos, 45 years of memories. We stood in the living room, the 5 of us. For the first time in 18 months, the 5 of us were together. "This house," I said, "isn't for money. It's for memories. This is your corner. This is your father's spirit. This is my heart. And now, this is your responsibility." "We'll protect it, Mom," Michael said. "We promise." "We'll see," I said. That day we stayed there until evening. We talked, we cried, we laughed. I told stories about their father. They remembered their childhood, and maybe for the first time, we felt like a real family. Now I'm speaking to you from here. If you're a parent, don't just leave your children money. Leave them values. Leave them love. Leave them memories. If you're a child, don't neglect your parents. When you see them getting older, don't distance yourself. Get closer. Because one day it will be too late. I'm Margaret Henderson. I'm 73 years old. I had 8 houses. Now 1 belongs to my children, 7 belong to charities. But I know that my real wealth isn't in houses. My real wealth is my children saying, "Mom, I love you," and actually meaning it this time. Money comes and goes. Properties are bought and sold. But family is forever. This is my story. But actually, this is all of our story. Because at the end of life, no one says, "I wish I had more money." Everyone says, "I wish I had spent more time with my loved ones." Now pick up the phone. Call your mother. Call your father. Say, "I love you." And don't just say it. Show it. Because tomorrow might be too late. And I, Margaret Henderson, tell you, true wealth is not stored in your wallet, but in your heart. Conclusion. Today is November 2025. The young woman who asked me to write this story is named Emily. She's 28 years old and hadn't called her mother in 3 years. "I was busy," she said. Emily wrote to me after reading this story. "Margaret, yesterday I called my mom. We talked for 3 hours. We cried, we laughed, and I'm visiting her this weekend. Thank you. This story changed my life. That's exactly what I want. For your story to change, for families to heal, for love to win, because in the end, only love remains." Margaret Henderson, 2025.